It is that time of year again. And if you have a dog, you already know what is coming. The sun goes down, the neighborhood goes quiet for just a moment, and then boom, the sky shakes. You look down and your dog is already trembling, eyes wide, panting hard, pacing the room, trying to squeeze their entire body behind the toilet or into the darkest corner of your closet. To them, it does not feel like a celebration. It feels like the world is collapsing around them. And for you, standing there watching your best friend fall apart while being completely unable to explain that everything is fine, that is its own kind of heartbreak. But what if this year was completely different? What if there was a specific science-backed protocol you could start exactly 1 hour before the fireworks begin that works like a neurological shield for your dog's brain, allowing them to stay calm, stay grounded, and in many cases sleep right through the entire thing? That is exactly what we are covering today, and we are going to do it properly, not just one quick tip, a complete masterclass. We are going to talk about why dogs experience firework terror the way they do, the common mistakes owners make that accidentally make everything worse, what to do in the days leading up to the event, what to do the morning of, and finally the full 1 hour pre-firework protocol that changes everything. Stay with me through this entire video because the information builds on itself. And the section at the end is the part that matters most. Let's start with the biology because until you understand what is actually happening inside your dog's body during fireworks, none of the solutions make complete sense. Most people assume dogs are scared of fireworks simply because the noise is loud, but that explanation barely scratches the surface of what your dog is actually experiencing. For a dog, a firework display is not just a loud noise. It is a full sensory assault happening on 3 completely separate levels simultaneously. Start with their hearing. A dog's hearing is approximately 4 times more sensitive than a human's. They hear frequencies that are entirely silent to us. When a firework detonates, the volume and the sharpness of the sound frequency hitting your dog's ears is genuinely deafening in a way we have no frame of reference for. It is not comparable to how loud it sounds to you. It is an entirely different experience. Then there is the physical sensation. A dog's paws are densely packed with nerve endings. When a mortar explodes in the sky above your neighborhood, the vibration does not just travel through the air, it travels through the ground, up through the pavement, through your floorboards, and directly into your dog's skeletal system through their feet. To your dog, every single explosion registers as a ground tremor. They are not just hearing the fireworks, they are feeling them through their entire body like a series of small earthquakes. And then there is the smell. A dog's sense of smell is conservatively estimated to be tens of thousands of times more powerful than ours. The sulfur and gunpowder from fireworks carries through the air for extraordinary distances. Your dog can smell the chemical signature of the explosions long before the first one even goes off. Their nose is telling them something is burning and something is detonating. And that combination registers in the most primitive part of their brain as a catastrophic threat. When you combine sudden, deafening, unpredictable sound, ground vibrations traveling through their body, and the smell of burning chemicals in the air, your dog's amygdala, the fear center of the brain, does exactly what it was designed to do. It floods the body with cortisol and adrenaline and sends one single urgent message to every system in that dog's body. We are under attack. We need to escape right now or we are going to die. This is not an overreaction. This is not a poorly trained dog. This is a perfectly functioning survival brain responding to a genuine threat signal. Your dog is having a full clinical panic attack. And in that state, they are not capable of learning, reasoning, or calming down on command. Their higher brain function has been completely bypassed by survival chemistry. Now let's talk about what most loving owners do in response to this, and why it almost always makes the situation significantly worse. When a dog starts shaking and panting and pressing themselves into a corner, the most natural human response in the world is to rush over, drop to the floor, wrap your arms around them, and say in the most soothing voice you have, "Oh, sweetheart, it is okay. You are fine. Mommy is here. Please do not be scared. It is just fireworks. I promise you are safe." Every single word of that is said with love. and almost every word of it is communicating the exact opposite of what you intend. Remember, your dog does not process language the way you do. They process energy and tone. When you rush toward them in a state of worry, crouch down frantically, and speak in a high-pitched, anxious voice, your dog does not hear reassurance. They hear panic. They read your body language as confirmation that something genuinely terrible is happening. Their pack leader is acting frightened and erratic. That means the threat is real, and their already elevated panic level escalates further. By trying to comfort them from a place of your own emotional distress, you are accidentally adding fuel to their fire. The intention is love. The result is amplified terror. The second mistake is equally well-intentioned and equally damaging. Taking your dog outside to show them the fireworks and prove they are harmless. In behavioral science, this is called flooding. Direct exposure to a maximum fear stimulus with no gradual preparation, and it causes lasting psychological trauma. It does not desensitize your dog. It deepens the fear association and can create phobias that persist for the rest of their life. And one more critical safety warning while we are here. Never allow your dog into your backyard off-leash during any holiday weekend with fireworks. When the full flight response activates in a dog's brain, their obedience training essentially disappears. A dog who has never once tested your fence, who has never even looked at the gate sideways, will scale a 6-foot wall, dig under a barrier, or slip clean out of their collar to escape the overwhelming sensory assault. More dogs are lost and end up in shelters on the 4th of July than on any other day of the entire year. Always use a leash for bathroom breaks outside, even in your own fenced yard, until the holiday weekend is completely over. Now that we understand the problem and the mistakes, let's build the solution. And it starts days before the event, not the night of. If you have 3 to 5 days before the fireworks, you have enough time to begin rewiring your dog's neurological response to the sound. Go to any video platform and search for fireworks sound effects. Connect your phone or tablet to a speaker. Press play, but set the volume so low that it is barely audible. Barely a murmur in the background, almost nothing. While that nearly silent sound is playing in the background, do everything your dog loves. Play their favorite game. Give them the highest value food rewards you have. Small pieces of plain cooked chicken, a lick of peanut butter, their absolute favorite treat. Practice tricks they know well and reward generously. If they remain relaxed and focused on you while the sound plays softly in the background, praise them calmly and keep going. Each day leading up to the fireworks, increase the volume by just a tiny fraction. Keep pairing the sound with positive rewards every single time. What you're doing is neurological reprogramming. You're breaking the existing link between the sound of fireworks and the emotion of terror, and you are building a new link between that sound and the feeling of joy and reward. You are teaching their brain that rumbling sound means something good is about to happen. If at any point your dog shows stress signals, panting, pacing, refusing treats, whining, stop immediately. Turn the sound off. You have moved too fast. The goal is always to keep them just below their anxiety threshold, not push them past it. Now, the morning of the fireworks. Your singular goal for the entire morning and early afternoon is one thing: complete physical and mental exhaustion. A dog who is genuinely tired cannot sustain a high-level panic response. Their body does not have the energy reserves required. If you know the fireworks are beginning at 8 in the evening, take your dog for the longest, most physically demanding walk or exercise session you can safely manage in the cool of the early morning. Let them run, let them fetch, let them explore, and critically, let them sniff. Most owners underestimate the power of smell-based mental exercise. 15 minutes of deep, uninterrupted sniffing burns as many mental calories as a full hour of physical running. Sniffing activates the analytical parts of the brain intensely. Allow them to move slowly and investigate everything their nose finds. That is not a lazy walk. That is some of the most exhausting mental work a dog can do. After the physical exercise, add mental puzzle work at home. Hide their kibble in different rooms and make them search. Use puzzle feeders. Work through their training commands with high-value rewards. You want them genuinely ready for a deep sleep by early evening. A dog whose energy reserves are completely empty is a dog whose nervous system has a much harder time ramping up into full panic mode when the first boom hits the sky. And now we reach the part of this video that changes everything, the 1 hour pre-fireworks shield. 60 minutes before the fireworks are scheduled to begin, you are going to build a 4-part protective system around your dog. Each part works individually. Together, they create something genuinely powerful. The first part is the biological dampener, timing your calming support correctly. Whether you are using a natural supplement, a veterinary prescribed anxiety medication, or a kitchen remedy, the timing is everything. And this is where the vast majority of owners get it completely wrong. Most people wait until their dog is already shaking under the bed before they reach for the calming chew or the medication. By that point, the dog's bloodstream is already saturated with adrenaline and cortisol. You are trying to fight a raging chemical firestorm with a single drop of water. It will not work. You must administer any calming support while your dog is still completely calm, at least 1 hour before the first firework goes off. That way, the calming compounds reach the brain and begin occupying the anxiety receptors before the stress chemistry ever has the chance to flood the system. You are not treating a panic attack, you are preventing one. If you want a natural kitchen option, brew a strong cup of pure decaffeinated chamomile tea. Chamomile contains a compound called apigenin, which binds to the same brain receptors targeted by anti-anxiety compounds and produces genuine calming and sleep-inducing effects. Let the tea cool completely to room temperature and mix several tablespoons into your dog's food or water an hour before the noise begins. One important note: do not use chamomile with pregnant dogs as it can cause complications. For dogs with moderate to severe firework phobia, please do not rely on a kitchen remedy alone. And a word on a very common misconception, diphenhydramine, the antihistamine many owners reach for, only produces physical sedation. It does nothing to quiet the actual fear chemistry firing in the brain. Your dog may appear calmer on the outside while remaining in a state of full internal terror, but unable to express it physically. That is not calm, that is distress without an outlet. For dogs with severe noise phobia, contact your veterinarian at least a week before the holiday and ask about modern targeted noise aversion medications. There are prescription options specifically designed to quiet the brain's panic response during noise events rather than simply sedating the body. If your vet prescribes a gel-based medication that is absorbed through the gums, make sure you understand the administration method. These medications must be applied to the gum tissue directly and not swallowed, as stomach acid deactivates the active compounds entirely. Follow your vet's exact instructions on timing. The second part of the shield is deep pressure therapy. You have likely seen commercial anxiety wraps for dogs and wondered whether they actually work or whether they are just a well-marketed placebo. The science behind them is real. Applying consistent, gentle pressure around a dog's torso stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, the system responsible for rest and calm, and triggers the release of oxytocin, the bonding and comfort hormone. The effect is similar to swaddling a newborn infant. The gentle, constant compression signals safety to the nervous system. If you do not have a commercial anxiety wrap, you can achieve a very similar effect with a stretchy bandage or a soft scarf. Wrap it gently across the chest, cross it over the shoulders, and tie it loosely under the belly. It should be snug enough to provide constant contact, but never tight enough to restrict breathing or movement. Leave it on for the evening. The third part is the safe den. 1 hour before the noise begins, close every blind and draw every curtain in your home. The visual flash of fireworks lighting up the sky triggers a startle reflex that spikes anxiety independently from the sound. Eliminate the visual stimulus as much as possible. Find the most interior room in your home, ideally one with no windows, like a large bathroom or a walk-in closet. Place your dog's bed inside along with an unwashed piece of your clothing. Your worn clothing carries your scent at its highest concentration, and for a dog, the smell of their person is one of the most neurologically calming stimuli available. It signals safety at a biological level. Now for a technique that grooming professionals and experienced handlers have used quietly for years. Take a large, soft cotton ball, natural cotton, not synthetic, and place it gently just inside the outer opening of your dog's ear, not deep inside the canal, sitting loosely at the entry point. The cotton dampens the sharp, high-frequency crack of fireworks without blocking the ear canal or causing discomfort. Make an absolute mental note to remove both cotton balls the moment the fireworks end for the night. For the sound environment in the den, do not use television or radio to mask the noise. The unpredictable range of pitches, voices, and sudden sounds in regular programming can actually heighten anxiety rather than reduce it. Instead, search for brown noise. Brown noise is a specific deep low-frequency sound, richer and heavier than white noise, that is particularly effective at biologically masking the low rumbling frequencies produced by fireworks and thunder. Play it from a speaker in the safe room at a comfortable volume. It creates an acoustic blanket that significantly reduces the penetrating impact of outside detonation sounds. The fourth and final part of the shield is the dopamine release. 45 minutes before the fireworks begin, while your dog is settled in their den with the pressure wrap, the calming supplement working in their system, and the brown noise playing, you deliver the most powerful distraction tool available, a frozen enrichment toy. Take a durable rubber toy or a silicone lick mat. Fill it with a mixture of plain Greek yogurt, mashed banana, and a small amount of unsalted peanut butter. Before you do anything else, check every label carefully. Make absolutely certain that none of your ingredients contain xylitol DA, a sugar substitute that is increasingly common in peanut butter and yogurt products and is listed on some labels as birch sugar. Xylitol is acutely toxic to dogs and potentially fatal even in very small quantities. Confirm zero xylitol before using any product. Prepare this treat the day before and freeze it completely solid overnight. When you hand your dog a frozen enrichment toy 45 minutes before the fireworks start, they have to lie down and work at it continuously for the entire duration of the event just to access the food inside. The physical act of extended repetitive licking triggers a sustained release of endorphins and dopamine directly into the brain. Dopamine is the brain's primary feel-good chemical, and at sufficient levels it competes directly with cortisol, the stress hormone, for receptor dominance. A brain busy processing dopamine from an engrossing food reward is a brain with significantly less capacity to spiral into full panic mode. The fireworks begin. You have executed the protocol. Now, what do you actually do as the owner during the event itself? You do very little, and you do it calmly. Sit in the room with your dog, read, scroll through your phone, do something ordinary and completely relaxed. Project the energy of someone who finds the entire situation mildly boring. If your dog comes to you for contact, give them long, slow, firm strokes down their back. No fast patting, no high-pitched reassurance, no rushing to them every time a boom goes off, just steady, calm, warm presence. And here is something worth trying during the event, a technique drawn from traditional pressure point therapy. Between and slightly above your dog's eyes, right where the bridge of the nose meets the forehead, is a point associated with mental calm in veterinary acupressure practice. Using the soft pad of your thumb, apply gentle, slow, circular pressure on this spot. Do it slowly and consistently. Within a few minutes, you will often see the dog's eyes begin to soften and grow heavier. There is also a point at the center of the lower back where the spine meets the hips, a small flat area you can feel with your palm. Steady, gentle pressure here has a grounding effect, drawing hyper-alert, scattered energy downward through the body and reducing the frantic mental spinning that accompanies high anxiety. One final technique during the event. If your dog looks up at you with wide, nervous eyes between explosions, hold their gaze softly. Open your mouth wide in an exaggerated, slow yawn. Stretch your arms above your head and blink slowly. In canine body language, a dramatic, relaxed yawn from the pack leader communicates one thing with complete clarity. There is no threat here. This situation does not even warrant staying awake. Your dog will read that signal, process it through their social brain, and in many cases respond with a deep sigh and a visible lowering of tension. You are speaking their language, and their language says, if you are not worried, neither am I. This does not have to be the most dreaded night of the year anymore. With preparation that starts days in advance, a morning designed around exhaustion, and a 1 hour protocol built around biology rather than guesswork, you are giving your dog a genuinely different experience. You are not just hoping for the best, you are building a neurological shield between your dog and their fear. Has your dog struggled with fireworks or storm anxiety before? What has helped them in the past? Tell me in the comments. Your experience might be exactly what another dog owner needs to read tonight. And if this gave you a real plan going into the holiday weekend, share it with someone whose dog needs it. You might just change that dog's entire experience this year.